guys, Joe here. So in this video, I just want to kind of give you an update of what's been going on. I know it's been a while, but here we are. So anyway, so it is now December 14th, and basically, like I've been talking about, is we're constantly going through and trying to figure out what the hell's going to happen for next year, as far as like the volume coming in, how we're going to handle that volume, things like that. So along with that, we have new products coming in and all kinds of other stuff, and then issues that we're having. So number one is for the shipments that we're coming in, like the one order's been delayed like a week and a half, so now we've been out of material for like a week, which is for vinyl, so that's been a little frustrating. So we're trying to figure out how not to have that happening again. So then what I started doing is running out projections for every single week, starting in about 4 weeks of every week, how many panels that I think we're going to go for. I just focus on 6-foot solid weight vinyl because that's like pretty much everything that we sell in the vinyl. And so week by week, and at this point we're projecting based on like what we're doing, or compared to this current year. But I looked at like this current year, May was our busiest month by far, and we were selling about 350-ish panels a week. So this year we're projecting 1,000, but honestly the way we're going, it might be higher. So I might end up adjusting those numbers to like 1,500 a week, so that would be about a 5x increase, which is pretty freaking nuts. But here we are. So that's that. I'm trying to think what else. We did actually just start, we take it over next week, but we started renting out another location, and it's smaller than what we have now. It's like 3,200 square feet, but what we're doing is basically taking our aluminum over there to assemble it and everything else. The reason why we have to do that is because I need more space. So because we're able to pull the aluminum out of there, what we're going to end up doing is being able to really stock up the inside of the warehouse. Right now it looks like we should be able to fit about 2,500 sections worth of vinyl just on the inside. So that'll be good. The other reason for that is I feel like there's going to be a minimum of like 3-4 orders a day of aluminum that are going to be getting delivered, right? So what we're going to end up doing is building the aluminum on the other at the other location, and then for every all the orders that are going to be delivered by our team, they will be packaged up there, and then they will be picked up from there to be delivered, because at this point our parking lot's small, so we have to get everyone, I have to try to get as much traffic out of our main location as I can. So I'll end up working there. And then basically for any last minute orders or pickups and stuff like that, we're still, build at the other location, bring it over here, and we will, we'll probably pack it up at the main location, or we might just build it at the other location and bring it over. I'm undecided about that. So I did talk to the person that I thought would go into that space, and they are interested, so I'm happy about that. To kind of manage that part there. I'm trying to think what else. We did start hiring for a front counter person, so that way we have 2 bilingual reps on counter, and then plus my wife. So that search has been a little interesting. So we have, I went on Indeed, and we had a ton of applicants come through, and a decent amount of them that would, fit the needs for our company. But like, just the communication's been a nightmare. So like, half these people have like disqualified themselves just because of that. What else? So today, as part of trying to, we have decking coming in. So I don't know if I mentioned that last time, but we placed that order at the beginning of the month. So we should have that at the, first, second week of January. So we're just starting with 2 kinds of decking, or Trex decking right now, the 2 lower end colors. And then we'll be ordering more of the mid-grade colors come February for the March delivery. We're starting out small with that because we just don't know what to expect. I didn't want to bring in a million different colors, one from the cost standpoint, but 2 also for the where we're going to put it, right? So we found a little space for that. It's pretty crazy because like when we first started, I'm like, there's no way we're going to fit any more shit. And then slowly but surely, we keep on moving things around, and then we eventually get it to where it needs to be. So we're doing that. Along with trying to get more space out of here, what we also did is today we started setting that up, but we originally had like pallet racking outside to store orders, so that way we can put orders on top of each other. So now what we did is those original ones were 10 foot. So now we went to 14 foot ones. So that way we can store fence orders, you know, at the bottom on the ground and then on that first level. And then also at the very top, we still have to do it, but we're going to put racking across the top. So it's like a solid surface all the way across. And so that way, once we build the decking orders, we can get them out of the way and put them on top of the racking. But that shit is tall. So we're used to, I don't know, it's very tall. It's because we're just not used to, you know, putting anything quite that high. Now we were stacking orders on top of each other, but that was basically from ground level to the first rack. That was like 6.5 feet. So we're going from 6.5 feet to now putting, you know, the decking at 14 feet. So it's, you know, more than twice as high. So we're dealing with that. What else? Started a raffle, and this was kind of like last minute, but we're doing 2 raffles at this point. So therefore, we're raffling off 2 75-inch TVs, and the way it's working is the contractors, there's one for contractors, and then there's one for everyone. So the contractors is basically if they come in and drop off a business card, they are entered into this raffle, and then also for every order over $1,000, they are entered in as well. So we're doing that drawing at the end of the month. The other one is for everyone. So it could be for contractors, whoever, but basically for a $5 donation. I'm not sure where it's going, which charity it's going to at this point, but we'll figure that out. But basically for every $5, you get an entry into the raffle, so then we can, you know, give away that TV as well. The goal is to basically do this on a monthly basis, because I do want to, I want to start giving back as much as I possibly can. So we're trying to figure out different ways, because, you know, especially with, you know, I see people like, you know, David Gatto. So if you're in the fence industry, you probably know about him. But it's really inspirational to see what they are, what he is able to, you know, accomplish. So he's, you know, several steps. Really not even several steps. I would say several flights in front of me. So it's just basically motivation. I guess there's 2 ways to look at things. Like when you see people doing things better than you could be like, well, they, you know, give any kind of excuse you possibly can, or be like, well, I wish he wasn't doing as well, and I wish I was doing that well instead, which you could do, I guess. Or the other way is just look at it like as inspiration. It's like, if he can do it, like I can do that too, right? Because a lot of times I feel like it's, you know, we don't really know what's possible until we see someone else do it, right? And so I think that's really important. So that is the goal. So, you know, looking to do it on a monthly basis, and each month it'll be something different, and there's probably going to be separate prizes, one for contractors and like a different prize for homeowners, because like we could do sets of tools, or, you know, whatever. We'll figure that part out. I'm trying to think what else. We got that. Oh, a lot of progress, to be honest with you, especially with the sales rep. So he's been with us since July, and now what's happening is we started seeing some pretty decent progress. I would say about 3 months in, something like that, where finally people are giving them the time of day and, you know, stuff like that, and they're starting to place orders. And before it was a lot of like these smaller guys coming out. But now it seems like on like for the last 3 weeks, something like that, there has been like substantial interest from like one of the bigger companies in the area, which is huge. And I think it comes from a few reasons. Number one, I don't think the suppliers are doing a good enough job appreciating their customers and seeing how else they can help them. Number two, a lot of these suppliers have an installation side, so they are competing against their customers. So now the fence companies are competing against the person they buy for material from, number one. And number two, every time they buy something from that company, they're basically supporting their competition, right? Whereas year past, it may not have mattered, and in years past, maybe the supplier backed off more than they actually backed off like they said they would. But I think because of the economy, number one, there's not as many leads coming in, so like they really count, like each lead really counts. So every time they're going against a competitor, like that's a problem, right? And then the other thing is that the supply side, like maybe they just aren't backing off the way they used to. So, which is good for news for us. But again, like I think my mindset has been, and pretty much always has been, is like I don't consider anyone else to be my competitor. And the reason for that is because there's so much work out there, right? Even in these slow times, there's still enough work for everyone. Now, the other suppliers, they're going to feel a hit. They already have. We hear some of the stories and things like that. So they felt the pain from two things. One, from the economy, slowing down from that. But then two, you got someone like us that came in and, more or less grabbed, a few $1 million worth of sales that no longer go to them. So realistically, I don't know exact numbers, but like there's 4 main suppliers in our area, and like more and more I talk to people, like no one normal would be doing this shit. I don't think anyone would have started a fence supply in my area, just because there's 4 big suppliers within 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes of me. And on top of that, 2 of the suppliers, like one is the absolute cheapest anywhere, like legit people coming from New York and everywhere else, because like they are, New York, Maryland and stuff like that, because they are so cheap. And then on top of that, then the other supplier, which used to be my supplier, which they're not too thrilled with me, probably secretly watching these, but that's okay, that they're now going after, like there's a war between the 2 of them. Honestly, I think it's really the war with my supplier with the other supplier. Not like, I don't think the other one really gives a shit. At least not as of yet. But they're kind of going back and forth, and like they're driving the pricing super low, which has not made things easy. So that's where we kind of are. But I think what we're doing, we're sticking to what we're good at. We're sticking to constantly focusing on the customer instead of ourselves, as well as focusing on what's best for our customer and what's best for my team. So I think I talked about it before. If I didn't, then basically here's a quick snapshot. I will every 2 weeks, and honestly I got to get more consistent with this, which is one of my core values, so I need to like upload this, because if I can't do it, well, how can I expect my team to do it? Is I have these meetings every 2 weeks. Basically what in these meetings, it's one-on-one meetings, and I just basically see how they're doing within the job. So like I ask 2 main questions for the job, which is what's a small tweak that we can make that would make a big impact on your job, and then what's one small tweak that we can make that makes a big difference for the entire company. So we've got a lot of great insight from that, which I think it allows me to kind of transfer more of the ownership role to them, which ownership mentality is another core value for the company. So that's number one. And then the second thing that we do is like, everyone's going through shit, right? So myself included, there are all kinds of personal baggage and everything else that every one of us has, right? That we kind of have to like stuff away. So what I end up doing is give them that outlet to, like, if they want to talk about the personal shit that they're going through, then I am here to listen, because a lot of times they feel like they have no one to talk to. And for me, like, I've spent the last like 5 years on like my own personal journey of like mental health and just wanting to be happy and things like that. So there's a lot of things that they're kind of going up against, and a lot of times it breaks down to just the mental side of things, that I can say, well, do do this, or hey, I listened to this video, listen to this video, things like that. And like, there's been, it's constantly now that like, I'll talk to someone and like 2 weeks later, I'm like, how's everything going now? Did you try this? And I'm like, yeah, we tried it and it really worked out. Like, I feel so much happier than I did before. So, but anyway, that's about it. A lot of shit that I've done at this point, or not just me, but a lot of stuff that the company's been accomplishing. So I am super excited about this year. I'm super pumped, and hope you have a great day. And if you need anything, please let me know. But honestly, it's mostly through text and email, because I just don't have a lot of time. So anyway, I'll see you.